So today we are going to look at the Stagg R500 guitar. This one is blatantly a tribute, shall we call it, to the Santana PRS model, and it looks rather nice. So I thought I'd get myself one of these, get my hands on one and have some fun. We can review this. We're going to look at the neck profile, weight, all that good stuff, and we'll do a sound demo and I'll give you my overall thoughts on this thing. It's got the two humbuckers, it's got the volume and tone, it's got the three-way switch, and it does have that rather lovely flame top. Now, it could be maple. These things now, I would suggest probably you're only going to find secondhand. I mean, they're fairly old guitars, these ones. And I don't even think Stagg make them currently as of the making of this video. So if you can bag one, you might have got yourself something which is very similar to a PRS, and you might have got yourself a bit of a winner. I've got a PRS without a tremolo, and I thought, right, okay, I want to get something that has a tremolo. I saw it relatively cheap, this guitar, and I thought, let's go for it and have some fun. So we'll go inside the pickup cavities as well, go inside the back, and as you can see, I mean, let's kick off with the neck profile. So I've already done those measurements, as you can see here, and you can see we have, I would call this something like probably a slim C. My PRS actually that I've got is the SE Pulse model, and that one actually has it's called a wide fat neck, and I would say this is more like a wide thin neck of a PRS. It does feel a little bit different, so you know, just bear that in mind, but it's a nice feeling neck. The nut width is 42.7 millimeters, so very much a kind of a Les Paul or a PRS kind of nut width. Neck depth of the first fret is 21.5 millimeters. Neck depth of the 12th fret is 23.7 millimeters. Let's flip it over. We do have a set-in neck, which is quite nice. In terms of weight, this guitar is kind of middling, I would call it. It's not super heavy and it's not super light. I mean, 7 pounds 11 ounces, 7 pounds 12 ounces, 3.5 kilograms or thereabouts. So it's not a mega heavy guitar by any stretch. It does look like a rosewood fingerboard. If I'm wrong in the comments, please do. The actual fretboard itself looks pretty nice. It's a very nice looking fretboard actually. It's all one piece. It's not one of those composite horrible things. And it's got these rather nice pearl or pearloid inlays, which are quite nice. They're not birds. Obviously, I suppose, like to avoid any problems with PRS, which is more than fair. In terms of the fretwork itself, I've not actually had to do anything to the fret ends of this. It feels very smooth, actually, as you go up and down. It's a nice feeling guitar. I like the way this feels. Now, the other thing, tuners, these are, so I'll flip this over as well, and we will have a look at this. So they are pretty standard tuners, which is actually really, really, really good news. These are going to be easily switchable. It's not the old kind of like trapezoid where you've got various screws in there and it becomes a bit of a nightmare to flip and change these without screwing lots of holes, without boring things out. You haven't got to do that on this guitar, which is pretty cool. So let's have a look at the back of the guitar. We can go inside here now that I've taken the covers off, and we can look at what the kind of wood type is here. We can kind of see we've got three types of wood, or at least three slabs of wood here, and they are a little bit different in texture. I mean, I wouldn't say they've gone overboard in trying to match these or anything. It looks very nice. It's a gloss back. It feels quite nice. It's, you know, it's not too sticky or anything, but it looks fairly decent. And in terms of the neck itself, now initially I thought maybe this might be one piece. On close inspection, you have got a piece here, which is a wood saving measure. They've got that. I mean, normally on a Gibson this would all be one piece here, but you can see very clearly that piece and this piece, and then you do have what looks like, and it definitely is, if you can just about see it on camera, there's a slight line here, slight scarf joint here, which in fact, to be fair, gives the neck some stability, which is a good thing. Sorted. So basically 3-piece neck, 3-piece body. Happy days. Now, in terms of the tremolo system, you've got a 3-spring setup, nicely grounded. You'll see that in a minute as well in terms of the sound demo. There isn't any noise coming from these pickups. They're actually very nice. It's a thin block. Some people have got different opinions on that. You could put a thicker block in here if you wanted to, I'm sure. There's a bit of space in here for some of that. And in terms of the back cavity, now this is how it did come. You can see small pots. It's not really here or there. It's fairly well cut out. It's okay. There's some wood chipping in here. I suppose, you know, from their perspective when they're making this, it's not as if lots of people are going to dive into the back of this and be pulling it apart. But The facility is there. You could put CTS pots or whatever you wanted to in here. You've got the facility for that. You've got enough space by the looks of it, easily enough space around the pots to put those in. So it's not bad at all. In terms of pickup resistance, on the bridge pickup, we've got 13.2827 k ohms, give or take. In the middle position, 6.65. And on the neck position, 12.89. So let's also have a cheeky look inside one of the pickup cavities for fun. So this is the bridge humbucker. And as you can see, no markings of any note per se. It's a very just clean looking humbucker, especially probably for its age. And inside, we just have a little bit of markings and a pretty cleanly cut cavity, I would say. Okay, so we'll do a little sound demo on this guitar. Now, something to note, it does take, thankfully, generic style tremolo arms, because you'll often find if you're getting one of these second hand, it may or may not come with a tremolo arm. So this one actually does accept Yamaha Pacifica tremolo arms. This is the generic one that also goes with Squire Affinities, all sorts of things. So that is very handy. So I think the normal one that does come with it is just a metal tip. It's just a metal piece all the way through. Something to note. But first of all, why don't we just do, for fun, let's do the tremolo test as we're talking about it. So we'll just play a chord and see how well it stays in tune. So these are stock tuners. I haven't done anything to this. It's all stock, nothing's been changed. Yeah, it seems to hold tune pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with that. So you haven't got to rush out and change the tremolo or the tuner hardware. That's a tick. So what we'll do now is we will check out the different settings for the humbuckers, and we will also check out the volume and tone knobs and see how smooth the roll-off is. Because again, do you need to go and change that stuff quickly, or is it good enough to do the job? So we'll start off on the bridge pickup and just play some basic chords just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. I'm going through a Joyo, bringing joy to the world. It's a very good practice amp, by the way. Investigate those, they're wicked. I mean, it has gone a little bit out of tune, let's be honest. You can hear that, it's gone a little bit. So the tremolo's decent. We've gone a hair out of tune. Yeah, so there you go. It's not terribly out of tune, but a tiny bit. So that's the bridge. It's okay. So again, not too bad. Nice kind of mellowy sound. Neck. Yeah. Still, its tuning's maybe not as good as first hopes. I would say maybe as we're going through, like the tremolo and maybe a bit of playing, you can hear it. Maybe it is going a little bit, but hey, it you know, might need a little bit of tweaking here and there. It does sound really nice though. I have to say, I love that neck position, nice and creamy. So let's try. That's the volume knob. Yeah, it's actually pretty smooth, surprisingly. It's not bad. That's actually pretty good. I quite like that. Now the tone position. Let's try that. The tone. I'd say the tone knob is a bit more of a cut off rather than a smooth change. My overall thoughts then, basically, in a nutshell. You've got a really solid guitar with the foundations of this. The fact that it can take all sorts of generic tremolos is awesome, because that's usually one of the first things that goes missing. The switch is very affirmative. That's nice. The knobs are also very affirmative. They're decent. I'd say the volume has got a smooth roll off. Tone, not so much. Bit of a shame. The tremolo, I thought at first in this, as we're experiencing this together, the tremolo, I thought at first maybe that's not too bad. It's probably the tuners, which should probably be looked at first in terms of if you're going to use the tremolo a lot. The tuners maybe need to be looked at. It's not terrible. I've certainly seen worse. There's something to bear in mind. The foundations of the guitar are really nice. It does feel similar to a PRS, not exactly the same. The profile does feel a little bit different. I can talk from experience as I own a PRS. Fretwork and fretboard itself is very, very nice looking, and it's generally speaking a very well made guitar for not a lot of money. Definitely worth investigating if you're after that Santana look on a budget. And that's what that flame maple top looks like again. So there you are, that's my thoughts in a nutshell. If you like all this kind of stuff, do like, comment, subscribe, and there's going to be plenty more coming. There'll be many more reviews, etc. coming up. See you in the next one.